Okay, it's 7 o'clock, so I'm going to call this meeting to order. It is Tuesday, July 30th, special meeting of council. I'd like to call to order. Be it resolved that this meeting be called to order and the agenda for the meeting be adopted as circulated. Could I have a mover, please?
So moved, Mr. Mayor.
Councilor Pactan moves. Can I have a seconder? Councilor Bichetti seconds it. Any comments, questions? Can I call for the vote? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? None? Seemed carried. Takes us down to 3.1, Whistler Hollow Playground Safety-Based Option. Whereas the rural municipality of West St. Paul 2024 financial plan includes Whistler Hollow Playground equipment and landscaping at a capital project cost with a budget value of $150,000. And whereas the rural municipality of West St. Paul issued tendered 2024-04 for the construction of the Whistler Hollow Playground and Park. And whereas the Council of the Rural Municipality of West St. Paul passed Resolution 2024-277 to accept the bid for the construction of Whistler Hollow Playground and Park submitted by Blue Imp in the amount of $131,789.43 plus GST. And whereas Council of the Rural Municipality of West St. Paul required administration to obtain a change order quotation for a rubberized outdoor surface instead of pea gravel base. Now therefore be it resolved, the Council of the Rural Municipality of West St. Paul increased the budget for the Whistler Hollow Playground equipment and landscaping equipment capital budget from $150,000 to $185,000. The proposed change order for the supply and installation of pour-in-place rubber and wood border at an increased project cost of $50,516 plus GST be approved. The additional funds to be borrowed by Green Space Dedication Reserve. Could I have a mover, please?
Can we discuss the options before we?
Yes, after I have a mover and a seconder.
I'll move it, Mr. Mayor.
Well,
Councilor Pat moves it. Councilor Pat Campbell seconds it. Any comments, questions?
How do we know which one we're going with in your resolution?
It's the Ford one.
Go ahead, Mr. CEO.
Yeah, if I may, Mr. Mayor, Blue Imp provided costing on two individual options. Option one was a loose rubber crumb, which really would not provide any accessibility benefits. It would be like a sort of a soft kind of chunks of rubber, so there wouldn't be really any added value in terms of accessibility. There would be a softer surface, but I think the intent was to look at options that would provide for accessibility. So really, the only option that sort of meets the intent of council's request would be option two, which, as indicated in the resolution, results in a net increase of over $50,000, or nearly a 40% increase to the project cost.
Have any questions for the CEO? Go ahead, Councilor Bichetti. Oh, CEO, yes. Go ahead, Councilor Bichetti.
Yeah, that's way bigger than the number I expected to see on this, but we already adjusted, like we picked a higher play structure. I can't see myself supporting going for that. So is there a way that the resolution has both things on it? Is there a way we can approve the change, we picked the not the first bid? That's
Correct.
Already done?
That's done.
Okay, so this resolution is just for the change order for the rubber?
Exactly. The resolution is strictly for a change order to change from pea gravel to a rubber mat, and to increase the budget that would be required to make that change. But an increase of budget is not required if the change is not made.
No, I can't support that. That's way higher than I thought, and way higher than we originally budgeted on the whole play structures.
Okay, Councilor Campbell, go
I
ahead.
wouldn't, I might suspect that Blue Imp thinks that, okay, they have the contract and, we're asking for extra pricing to do this extra work, that they think that it's kind of open-ended for them. I wouldn't mind exploring that part of the work and getting a quote from a couple other companies for that type of work from, because Blue Imp doesn't do the work, they just farm that out, right? So there's companies that actually do that work where we may get a much better bang for our buck. And avoid using the pea gravel and be able to get this poured in place work done. That's what, you know, it's unfortunate that the costs are what they have come in at, but, you know, as much as I would love to say, yes, I want that, but that's a pretty substantial price, but I would definitely like to see that and see if we couldn't get a couple quotes from someone else, a couple other companies to, you know, just to keep that in check to see if it makes sense or not.
Okay, I think you're right, Counselor, that it's not uncommon for contractors to sometimes take advantage of some leverage that they may have on a change order, and so that does occur. That said, I'd be somewhat concerned with splitting the contract now, because now what we would be doing is we'd be eliminating the base that was bid by Blue Imp. We'd be now having a separate contractor working on the project. We would have a split warranty now on the overall structure as well. We have one working on the foundation and the base, and one working on the installation of the structure. And the clock is ticking as well. So, you know, if that's council's desire, we certainly can do that. But I think it comes with some risks.
I can appreciate your concerns on that, but as long as, you know, the play structure is ordered and that, this portion of it is after the playground is done, really. It's at the end, one of the final things. And they've already given us a cost to take the gravel off, right? So that's kind of good for us, the leverage there that we have. Like I said, and having two separate warranties, I wouldn't think that would be that big of a deal. I wouldn't shy away from it. Like I said, I would like to get a couple more prices of that poured in stuff, and it's, you know, like I said, that's my opinion anyways. I think we could get some prices fairly quickly.
Okay, Councilor Paxton?
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. Good conversation and discussion around this matter. Just on the base of it, I think, first of all, that the fact that we're moving ahead with the Whistler Hollow playground structure is a great initiative and a great move for the neighborhood and for the RM. I appreciate the administration's efforts to see what they can do to provide an option here for us. But I do agree that the change order amount is a little bit more than what I was expecting to see. And I understand it's a timing issue. I wonder if Blue Imp can sharpen their pencils a little bit, and perhaps our staff or through the CAO could maybe go back and approach them, you know, letting them know that the matter came before council. The council is kind of supportive of, well, I think, for myself, I think the accessibility front is huge, and we're taking positive steps by looking at the fact that we're considering a rubberized outdoor surface. I think there's huge benefits that will outlast, that will sort of pass many generations. So there's a lot of benefits, but I just think that the number is a bit too much. For me, if it was 10 grand over, 8 to 10 or 12 grand over, I'd probably support it. But this is too much, I think. So I don't know if they can sharpen their pencils and look at it. But from an accessibility standpoint, it's going to provide, you know, people with individuals with strollers for kids, people that have issues with, you know, that are wheelchairs, you know, folks that need to have stability when they're walking. This will be a great benefit. So anything that we can do to sort of facilitate that for this, I'd say, inaugural playground structure here in Whistler Hollow would be a huge thing. So those are my comments, to see if we can go back to Blue Imp and sharpen their pencils and see how close we can get to the budget.
Councilor Bichetti?
Just more of a comment on something that was said. I understand we're in a timeline here, but at the same time, this isn't getting installed until, I believe it was late September, early into October.
At the latest, depending on when it arrives.
So
But
it
as
probably,
late as
because it's a poured product, depending on temperature, they might not even get it poured. You know, but technically, well, depends on whatever we get at that time of year. But I think we still have time to go out and get a bid on just the pour, well, just to see if it's in the ballpark. Like right now, we have no clue, we have nothing to compare it to, so. We must be able to tell them square footage, even calling companies, just saying, hey, this much square footage, what is it costing us to put that down on a prepared base?
Okay, well, we could, if that's council's wishes, that's what we can do.
Councilor Kleiber?
Yeah, the change order is 57% of the base cost of the play structure. I mean, that's significant. When you're looking at 57,000 or 74,000, I mean, less the $74,000 your change order, and your play structure is 131,000. The base is costing us almost as much as the play structure is.
Yes, that's right.
Now, I know from having contracts as a contractor, you can deduct from a contract as well as a change order. You can eliminate and delete something from a change order. So my suggestion would be to see if you can get some pricing independent of these guys and go straight to a sub-trade that would pour that and do that for you, and then have them come in and put their play structure in.
The play
See if you
structure
can
goes in
blend
first
the
anyway.
two, right? Because I think basically this play structure is, this change order is, taking advantage of the situation. You got a change order, let's go, let's charge them, and we've got the contract, so we can get that price up there. Now, that might not be the case. The case might be that that's just what it costs. And if that's just what it costs, and other contractors come back and tell us that's what it costs, then we can make a more informed decision at that time. But the way that I look at it is, it's way out of line, based on the base price of that play structure. We shouldn't be paying $74,000 on a $131,000 play structure just for the base. It seems really out of line.
Yeah. For clarification, it's a $50,500 increase, which, to your point, is still excessive, but it's.
Might be an increase, but the
it's an
overall
increase.
cost is still $74,000.
For
Yeah.
that base, yes.
Yeah. So I think we need to look at other options. See what we can come up with. And if we can't, then we make a decision based on that. We can issue a change order to delete that piece and have somebody else do it as well, if they're not willing to come down on their price. If we can find a better price.
Okay, well, we can, if that's council's wishes, we can take it away and come back with some other quotes from independent contractors and ask Blue Imp as well if they're able to provide better costing.
So should we table this resolution until such time as we have better information?
I have a question for the CEO. So if we go ahead and take away from this project, what does that, what kind of implications does that have on the municipality?
If we take away,
If we say we don't want to do the base, we're going to hold back on the base, and we're going to get someone else to do the project.
so,
If Blue Imp doesn't do it and we get,
well, Blue Imp will still do the
Play
base structure. The question is who does the base?
that's right,
The
but,
base and the foundation.
yeah, but right now, Blue Imp is expecting to do the whole thing, pea
Yes.
gravel and everything. Now we're going to go to Blue Imp and say, hey, you know what, like, you're still going to do the play structure, we're not going to get you to do the pea gravel, we're going to see if we can get somebody else. What does that do for,
Well, first of all, we're not doing that yet. We're just looking at pricing first, before we do anything.
well,
We've asked them for a price. And under any sub-trades or contracts that you do, it's very common to have a change order to delete a part of that contract. That's not unusual. That's normal. I have very big contracts and I'll get a change order to delete this part because they're gonna get something else, or they're gonna do something else with it, or they've changed the material.
That's it.
Okay.
So that's common.
I think to answer your question, Mr. Mayor, sort of to my earlier point, whenever you have sort of now you've got two different contractors working on different parts of the project, there is an increased level of risk and there is an increased level of complexity. I don't think it's overwhelming. I don't think it's something that we couldn't manage and work with, and so if it is council's desire that we go back out and try to get some additional pricing from alternative contractors and discuss the implications of that with Blue Imp, we can do that.
okay. Okay, so if we table this, when do we bring it back? I guess I'll ask the CEO, how long do you think?
The, the turnaround time for information from Blue Imp hasn't been that quick. It took kind of the better part of 2 weeks to kind of sort out exactly their numbers. I'm hoping that we have a better audience this time, and we'll try to bring it back for probably for COW or committee of the whole and the upcoming council meeting on the 8th.
In next week?
Yeah, we'll try.
Mr. Mayor, could we get some quotes from different people that do that? Perhaps we could talk to another RM and see if they've used somebody else to do base like that?
Yeah, that, different contractors,
Yeah.
yes, yeah. That's the intent.
Even if we can just get something per square foot, so we know what it, right now, we have no clue what it's costing us. We don't even know what the square footage of the pad that they're, you know, probably said it in there, but I
I
didn't
think
read it
in the
enough.
drawing, I think it's.
We hadn't seen the specs though. I
So
don't
we
think we
have
saw
the
the
square
specs, did we?
footage, just
No.
to even get numbers per square foot from another contractor.
Yeah. We'll try to get something,
Okay.
to just provide some, I think the 8th, we'll try for the 8th.
Okay.
But if we manage to bring that information forward by the 8th, it may come as an addendum on the agenda. 'Cause
Yeah,
I
I
don't
mean-
know, I don't know if it will, know if we've got the full set of quotes by the time it's time to publish the agenda.
Yeah, that's what I'm concerned with. is
Yeah.
Might be,
So it may have to come as an addendum.
When
Okay.
were they planning to install in September?
When the material arrives.
Okay, I mean, we could call a special meeting there and if we needed to,
Mhm.
if the prices don't come in
Mhm.
on time for the meeting.
We'll deal with that, but.
Yep.
So
Okay.
do you need a motion on the floor to table this item until a later date? No, we just
No.
don't vote?
Just council's direction to table this.
okay, so then we'll table this to August 8th?
Did you want specifically to put August 8th or a future meeting?
August, or a future meeting, let's keep it future meeting,
Okay.
okay, yeah.
We may need to, if we don't make the 8th, we'll probably have to call a special meeting to deal with it then.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. So do we, that's it then?
I would turn.
Yep, so now we'll table this. Now we're going to adjourn the meeting. Be it resolved that this meeting council stand adjourned at, what time? 7:15 PM on Tuesday, July 30th. Can I have a mover, please?
So moved.
Councilor Patcan moves, Councilor Clyber seconds it. Any comments, questions? Can I call for the vote? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? None? Carried.